Hey there, Kred here. First interview of the year, 2022. We are like 16 or 17 days in, but Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for watching. Today is episode 7. I got Dave Strong here. It's a really cool interview, awesome guy. Check out his music, please. Down below, I'm going to link all his Bandcamp page, Spotify, his personal Instagram. See what's coming up for him this year in 2022, and yeah, enjoy the video. I am too. Trust me, it's something new every time I try using this thing. So
I'm glad I got it because it's gonna open my world up to a lot of more cool shit.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad I was the gateway in or something.
Yeah, I was like, that's how I am with a lot of things. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna fight it and not get it until I goddamn have to.
Yeah.
And that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
You just asked, and I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll get it.
Yeah, that's how it was. I was saying it before you. In 2020, it was like, with the pandemic started, like, well, my family's like, oh, you gotta download this app so we can talk to each other every day. I'm like, you know what?
I did it once. I did it on a Christmas with, I must have used my wife's phone or something because I didn't have the app.
Okay.
I was like, my daughter just had to help me sign into it because it was asking me for a password and stuff. And they're like, you don't have to do that shit. Just accept. So
that's what I was thinking.
It worked.
Cool. Good. Yeah, you're here. That's what I was thinking because I'm like, is there a password? I'm like looking for a password when I send it to you. I'm like, wait, what? No. Yeah. But yeah, we got it. Cool. Cheers.
I eventually figure it out. Yeah. It's like, might take a second, but I'm usually pretty good at figuring it out in the long run.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. This is episode 7 for me for starting out the new year on my little YouTube channel.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to ask, like, because when you followed me, I checked your. I'm like, oh, he's got music, and I checked it out. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. I gotta interview this guy.
Sweet.
So, yeah,
I set myself up for success then.
Yeah, you made it big now with me.
Nice. We'll help each other here.
Yeah, man. That's what it's all about, honestly. Yeah, I just want to ask you, like, I noticed, like, from your music and all, you started, like, this year from your with your singles and everything.
Yep.
In the summer of 2021, I noticed, like, I think your first single was. And I was gonna I'm getting ahead of myself already. I was gonna ask, like, how does one, it's always cool to hear, like, how does one get into, like, this genre of, like, punk music, and you have a little rockabilly to you too as well. Like, how did you fall into that?
Well, I've been playing music a while, just kind of like with different bands here and there, local bands, and I play bass, guitar, drums, and all that stuff. So if someone needs me to play, I'll play them. And in the last few years, I've been playing with a few people that it's all their songs, they're not my songs, and I've been kind of trying to bust out myself. So I had a book of songs, and I just utilized my resources. I know I went to a studio that I recorded with a band before, and I was like, yo, can I record my own stuff? And they're like, yeah, check it out, do it. And people were in my corner. They were like, do your stuff, do your songs. Your songs are really good. I mean, there was something inside of me that was like, I love playing music, and I love playing other people's music too. But I was like, I needed more, I think. And I had the songs, and I just did it. I mean, someone was like, dude, just put them on Bandcamp, do something, record a song. Because I put it off for years. I just was like, you know what? I'll do it later. And someone's like, put the fucking songs on. Do a song and put it online and see what happens. And I did, and people really like it. So I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I finally listened and stopped being stubborn.
Yeah.
And that's what happened, man.
That's awesome.
I did it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are in that, like, that, like, I'm in that. Like, what you do is what I want to do too, like, someday, but I always put it, like, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll figure it out. But that's really cool that
it's easy to get behind in your own life when you're trying to do so much for other people sometimes,
right.
you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So what I've been trying to do lately is do a little more for myself without sounding like a selfish bastard, you know, but like try to do a little more for yourself every now and then.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And it's working.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So like, did you like, were you part of like the punk scene or whatever? Or, I don't know where you're at exactly. I think you're on the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm in Maine right now.
Okay, cool.
Freezing.
Yeah, yeah. I'm down in Pennsylvania. It just started snowing. So
I love Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania's always been really cool. I played there with a couple bands before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Played in Philly before.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Actually, I just played. I played somewhere with Wimpy and the Cryptics like a couple weekends, like maybe last month, I think.
Oh, you played with Wimpy?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. There's a band called the Cryptics
Yep.
out of the East Coast. They are on tour right now. They bust ass. Tino's the man. He busts ass and shit.
That's awesome.
And yeah, and then every now and then they were doing this thing called Wimpy and the Cryptics. They started it up. A year went by. They had another guy playing bass. I think actually he's in Guttermouth now. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he is. Don't quote me on that shit because I don't really know. But yeah, I guess he wasn't working out or something. They put out a record. It was really cool, and they called me up and they were like, "Do you want to play?" And I said, "Fuck yeah, I love Wimpy. I love the Queers.
Yeah,
they're like my favorite band."
I would say Wimpy is the best punk voice of all, like not all time, but I mean, yeah, he's up there for me. Like when you hear the Queer songs with Wimpy on it, it's like it's undeniable how awesome it is.
I love hearing new ones too.
Mm-hmm.
Tino and him, they did a Wimpy and the Cryptics 7-inch. It's fucking awesome. There's like 4 songs. It's just Wimpy. I think it's just Wimpy and Tino playing everything, but it is wicked good. It's really new. It's on Bandcamp, I think. You should check it out if you like Wimpy.
Absolutely. I love Wimpy. Definitely will. That's cool.
Anything new from Wimpy is killer.
Yeah. I'll have to check that out right away.
Yeah.
So like, well, how'd you, like, I don't mean to like, I kind of go all over the place, but I mean, like, I try to structure it, but then I think of things that come to my mind and I go that way anyway. So like,
yeah, cool.
So like, how did you come across Wimpy? Like, or was this playing local shows or?
I've known Wimpy a while. Like, so a little story about me. I grew up in Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Okay.
There was a pretty good punk scene in that town. There's bands like, have you ever heard of the Bruisers?
I don't think so. No.
You've heard of the Queers though?
Yeah, of course.
So Joe used to live in Portsmouth, and
right.
he'd bring a ton of bands in and out of this place called the Elvis Room. It was like there was one in Portland and there was one in Portsmouth, and I would skip school in high school, and it was a local coffee shop, and I'd go and play pool there, and at night it turned into a bar. It got pretty nuts, actually. I think one of the owners got stabbed one night. It was like they went no alcohol for a long time, and at first it was like, a ton, like anywhere from 12 to like 70-year-old people would be there. Wow. And then they tried to cut it to 18 plus, but some of the kids that it was like a home away from home. Mm-hmm. So they tried to do these IDs where like the people that had come before they were 18 could still come, anyway, it's an awesome place, and a lot of the Lookout record bands, because of Joe, would come and play there. And there was a place called Fish Tracks. I think it's called the Electric Cave now. But Jim Turney, he's like world famous producer. Him and Joe teamed up, and they recorded this album called More Bounce to the Ounce. And it's just like tons of Lookout bands, fucking crazy. But anyway, getting ahead of myself.
Okay.
I went to high school with Wimpy's son, Jack.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I had a show. So at my house where I grew up, I was like, I love this Elvis Room place. I love it. Maybe I can have my own punk show at my house. It's my mother and father's house. So I asked my mom, like, you think I can, like, you know, have a punk show? It's pretty much just going to be like my band practicing and a couple people will show up. And she's like, David, I don't know. And I was like, please. And she's like, okay, fine. Just a few people is what she said. So I went to Portsmouth, Hampton, Exeter, all the seacoast towns. And like, I went to Kinko's Copies and made like almost 300 flyers. And I stapled them everywhere. And this party was fucking off the chain, man. It was like 300 people at my mom's house. She was rip shit, but Wimpy's son was there, and we kind of met each other at that party, and we hung out ever since. Now, some kid compound fractured his leg on my trampoline.
Trampoline.
The ambulance got stuck in the leach field. It was fucking crazy. They couldn't get to my house because there was like cars all the way to the railroad track. So it was a shit show, man.
Wow, yeah.
But if you can make anything out of that, that's where I met Jack, Wimpy's son. And I think I was maybe a sophomore in high school, and ever since then we were really good friends. We hung out a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I did a tour with Wimpy and the Cryptics, and we went to California and we stayed at his house a couple of nights. So
that's awesome. So what was that like? What year was that when you did that tour?
With Wimpy? I think it was in 2019 when we went from Seattle to San Diego.
Oh, wow.
We flew out.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a dream.
Yeah, I've been playing with them about 4 years now.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So then, you said you were playing, you're playing other people's songs, which you love doing, you said, but eventually you're just like, I want to do my own thing. So, and, so what is I was looking at I was checking out the bandcamp the other day, Labtop Punk Records.
Labtop Punk.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I told myself earlier, I messed it up earlier in my head, but I still did.
I screw it up too. Whenever I put it on something, I always hit laptoppunk.com, and it's really not that. It's actually laptoppunk@bandcamp.com.
Yeah.
So I always fuck it up too. How'd you come across
that? Is that local for you or the label?
No, actually, that's a guy named Dustin. He's in California.
Okay.
And I just sent him an email. I actually was listening to it. I've listened to a bunch of bands that have come out on it, and I know a few of the people that are on it. And I don't know. I emailed him and I was like, I'm trying to put out an EP. I don't really know what I should do, if I should put a single here or that. And for some reason, Labtop Punk stuck out to me. A couple people were like, give your song to him and see what he does. And he fucking is the man, I'll tell you, because he made the whole image. All I had to do was take a picture of myself and send him the song, and he pumped it everywhere. I get reviews now because of it.
Wow.
And he's like some kind of crazy wizard. He's the man.
That's awesome.
He Who Cannot Be Named from the Dwarves just actually put out like a concept kids album on Labtop Punk.
Oh, cool. I gotta check that. I was looking at the roster, like looking at all the library.
It's crazy, man. I didn't even know how many bands are on there. Yeah. It's just like, it's fucking nuts.
That's great that he took you right in, and then I mean the song. I think the first song you did was what? I think it was a Little Girl.
Yep. Yeah, I did. I Would in Little Girl in one sitting. So.
One sitting? I wouldn't ask about the process and all that. That's cool.
Yeah, well, it was one session. It was more like. So at that point, that's when I finally decided that I wanted to just do the song, because people were like, "Yeah, dude, if your desire is to make a fucking song and put it out yourself, then go into the studio and do the song." But I didn't tell anybody I was gonna do it. I just called the guy that recorded it, and I went down to the studio and I played the drums, the guitar, and everything. I actually brought my daughter, the one that I was saying bye to help me get onto this freaking thing. I brought her with me, and she sings all the backups and the high parts on those two songs.
That's incredible.
But yeah, I just did it, and it was super cool. It was so fun. I'm glad I did it because I got such a great response from those 2 songs that I put out the Nightcrawler after, and then I did another 2 songs. And I'm going back next month to do another few. So
cool. Yeah, the Nightcrawler single. I think I was reading the credits. I think you had someone come in and play bass to stand up though. Cause I hear the stand up. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Terry McNulty is his name. He's actually in my band now. He's gonna play upright bass. And we've got a drummer, Roger. So we're a 3-piece.
Okay, cool.
You know, at first it was just me, and you know, I'm working on getting shows this year and everything like that. So it's all coming together. It's slow, but I mean, it's coming together. Yeah. You know,
in spite of everything going on, you know, it's cool that stuff like that can come together. I was gonna say I was gonna ask for for this year. So are you gonna go in the studio then as a 3-piece? Then sick.
Yeah, I hope to. Okay. I hope to go in as a 3-piece. I was so on the fence because my first songs were straight up punk, like pop punk almost.
Yeah.
And then it was nuts. Like those are really poppy, and then I'm kind of taking this like rockabilly 60s, 50s like cool type vibe. So I got a show that's coming up in May in Boston, and we're gonna do it as a 3-piece with an upright bass and try to like see how that goes. Because I'm gonna try to do the pop punk songs with an upright, kind of like the Sewer Rats. Have you ever heard of the Sewer Rats? Yep. They kind of used to do upright bass and like the Living End and those type of bands. I really like. I've always really been into like psychobilly and rockabilly, but my heart's in pop punk. So
like the look at.
I'm gonna try to put.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to put it all together. You know, I'm trying to keep it, create some kind of genre like that. You know.
Yeah, just say because like Little Girl and is like very like reminiscent of like Lookout Records there, like Lookout 90s pop punk like.
Yeah, my favorite.
Yeah, which immediately when I got when I first listened to it and then like I had it on shuffle and then the Nightcrawler came on. I was like, whoa, what the? I had to check to see if it was still you. I'm like, this is awesome. I
know it's so different,
but it's I mean that's great though. Yeah, you're figuring out like you're finding your. I mean, there's nothing wrong with. That's cool that you're gonna implement that too in the live thing with the pop punk and that the rockabilly stuff's amazing. I was blown away. I was like this. I'm like, wait, hold on a second.
I know. I think that's gonna be like it's a whole learning thing. It really is. So because at first I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try to keep to one genre, and then I was like, fuck that, I don't need to. It took me so long to get in here and do this anyway, so I might as well just do anything that I like. Right. I'm getting such a great response. Everyone is so awesome, and they're like so supportive. So I really, I don't know. The next few songs I'm gonna record are kind of more on. I don't know, kind of like one of them sounds like the Cars a little bit.
Oh, okay. Nice. I've
talked
about the Cars a lot on here.
I fucking love the Cars. Yeah. I love them. They're a Boston band, vocal, friggin' awesome. One of them kind of sounds like Kurt Baker a little bit, so it's kind of going back to pop punk, but I've got a couple lined up that are kind of psychobilly pop punk sounding too, so.
That's great.
We'll see. You never know what you're going to get from me.
That's great. That's what's fun about it all. So like the biggest influence for you, I guess, what's the biggest like influence rockabilly and then pop punk wise for you?
I'd say, all right, I don't know, for like rockabilly and stuff or psychobilly, I really like the Necromantics and like Tiger Army, like that era, that kind of the rebirth of psychobilly that came back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm a huge fan of that. I really like the Lookout era pop punk. Like, I really love the Queers, the Nobodies. I love all those type of bands. Mr. T Experience. I mean, anything with Whoa-Oh-Ohs and stuff. And I friggin' love it. I love it. I love harmonies. So
that's cool.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. I mean, I love the Ramones. I love the Beach Boys. I love the Beatles. oldies, and I love everything really. I mean, I like DMX too. Fuck it, I like everything.
Yeah, DMX is great, man.
Yeah. R.I.P. Rest his soul.
Yeah, that was. I can't believe he passed. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of past, well, it's not related, but that black guitar is John Stamos signed. But
really,
I know it's Bob Saget, but I remember I was at the guitar that night. I was like, "Fuck, man, it's crazy."
Man, I saw John Stamos play with the Beach Boys with my mom one year.
What?
Yeah. He played with them for a long time. He hasn't for the last few tours, but he was in the Beach Boys for a long time. They played forever. That song from Full House, they recorded it, I think.
Wait, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I missed a. Wow, holy crap! That's another wormhole I'm gonna fall into later. That's cool. Wow.
That's the best thing about music, man. You can fucking fall and fall and fall and never hit the bottom with anything.
Right. That's what made me want to start doing this channel on YouTube, because I'll stay up for hours watching interviews of bands, and I'm like thinking, what about I'll look up a band I really like just on YouTube. I type in their name in the interview, and then I don't see anything. I'm like, well, I'll just when I always interview them, I'll do it. So kind of like the same vein. It's very all the DIY just do
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Because I used to binge watch all that and all that stuff. I wanted to ask you too about Psychobilly. I guess you can say the Cramps. Are you a Cramps fan?
Oh yeah, I love the Cramps.
Nice. Did you ever see them?
Yeah, I did. I saw the Big Beats the Bad Bill tour, and I'm pretty sure I saw the Flame Job tour too, because I got the record at the show, and it's a red. Mm-hmm. I think it's on Epitaph Records, actually.
Flame Job?
I think they're on Epitaph for that one.
Yeah, I think Flame Job was on it. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's one of them.
I think Big Beats is on too. I think Big Beats might be too.
Yeah, maybe the two. And after that, they got off. But I had those two on vinyl as well. I remember
they're fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you were when you first heard the Ramones?
Yeah. The first time I heard the Ramones was actually at a middle school dance.
What? That's so cool.
Yeah. It was California Sun.
Oh, perfect.
From All the Stuff and More. Yep. Because our DJ would play All the Stuff and More. That was the first Ramones album I actually had too. All the Stuff and More, Volume 1.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yep.
I didn't expect to hear that at a dance.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I think I was in 7th grade. Peter Gordon, I think, was his name. He was like I think he was a firefighter. I don't even fucking know. But yeah, he went to the Greenland School, and we were just talking about the dances. I think I was talking to my girlfriend, or not my girlfriend, my wife. One of them. But
I'll let it out.
Yeah, we were talking about school dances and shit, and she was like, yeah, who did you have for school dance DJ? And I was like, oh, Peter Gordon. And we got kind of talking about that shit.
That's funny.
But,
wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm gonna, I was just thinking I'll cycle over to, so, you're a multi-instrumentalist. All your singles now are you with the with the upright bass, right?
Yep.
What did you start out playing first? Was it guitar or bass? Or you said bass, you play bass with Wimpy, but what did you start with?
I started playing guitar first.
Okay.
That was I got it was probably a Montgomery Ward guitar, the equivalent of what Walmart is now.
Yeah.
One of those old ones. I think it had a built-in pickup, and it might even have been battery backed up where it had a speaker in it that you could play. It was it looked like an 80s hair metal guitar, and I just kind of dicked around with it and learned how to play, and it was really fun. That was my first real guitar that my parents got for me for Christmas one year. But my dad always had acoustics, Yamaha acoustics kicking around in his workroom and in the basement. Mm-hmm. And at first I would just kind of sneak down there and play with them. And then I found out that he didn't really play them at all. So he was like, if you know how to play, I was kind of blowing their minds a little bit with it. They're like, what the fuck is he doing down there playing these guitars? So they gave them to me, and I made them my own. I spray paint. I probably destroyed more guitars than I fucking played, but
that's cool.
But that's what I learned. I learned on like a Yamaha acoustic in the basement, and then they got me like a real cheap electric, and that was my first instrument.
Did you take lessons, or did you teach yourself by listening to records?
I pretty much taught myself. A few times my mom like signed me up for like Christmas. She'd get me like 3 or 4 lessons from like Daddy's Junkie Music or one of those stores that was really like selling guitars and shit at that time. And I would go and I'd bring a tape. Like I brought a Beatles tape once, and the guy just learned how to play it himself, and he would like play it back to me. And then I was like, I can fucking do this myself. I don't need your help. So I pretty much did that. Nice. That's what happened. I learned myself. I can play by ear pretty good. So
yeah, that's great. That's something I could not pick up on. I guess I could. Obviously, when I listen to your music, I was like, I wanted to ask that because when I'm listening to you, I'm like, I wonder if he taught himself because like it goes in the vein with listening to like the punk rock and all that. It's usually. I mean, there's very few punk musicians I can think of, like maybe Billy Zoom from X that was like classically trained, or El Jefe, NoFX.
Yeah.
Or trained in music.
He's a multi-instrumentalist.
Yeah.
He'll pull out the trumpet and shit.
Yeah. Have you ever what about going next then with the drums? How did you get into the playing drums? That's a big shift from
It is. I love the drums. I really enjoy playing the drums a lot, actually. So I started a band in 8th grade, and someone brought the drums over to my house.
Okay.
And my house ended up being the practice spot. So there was a drum set there, and I just played the drums more than I played guitar. Like when they left, I would jam on the drums, and I was like, I want these so bad. So I switched actually instruments to the drums.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Then I stopped playing guitar for a few years, and then I'd play drums, and then I'd be like, I like guitar, so I would trade the drums for a guitar. And then someone was like, we need a bass player. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll trade my guitar for a bass, and that's what I did. I'd always trade. If someone needed it, I would try to play it. So
you were like the one trick you knew how to
I love bands. I mean, it's a huge thing for me. I love being on stage with a bunch of friends playing music I love. I mean, I don't need to be in the front. Like, this is just new for me. Right. I never really have been singer of a band or anything like that. So
yeah, how'd you I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
How'd you develop like for your vocals and stuff to get comfortable? Did it take a while, or?
I always just sing along to songs in the car, and I sing along. I sing backups.
Okay.
I just harmonies. I love harmonies, but I never have tried to sing my own songs really.
Yeah.
It was just a long shot that kind of.
Oh, cool.
I mean, I still don't love my voice, but
I think it fits really well.
The songs I like. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. I think it fits really great with the music you're doing. That's why I was curious. So you just went for it, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I just went for it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because like I have a couple things like acoustic stuff on Bandcamp and stuff, but like trying to like record myself and like I would delete it instantly after I heard like 2 seconds. I'm like no, and I like try to change it around and stuff, and I was like getting in my head too much. And so you didn't have that problem. You just went in.
No, this time I tried to go in, and I was like trying not to be too picky. I didn't spend too much time on the vocals, actually. I doubled them, though. Okay. So I did all the instruments. It took about like a day to just do all the instruments. And then the next day, I just pretty much did a few like solos and doubled the guitar. And then I just worked on vocals. And I've actually haven't had to do more than a couple takes on the vocals, because I'm the same way, man. If I listen to it back too many times, I'm leaving the studio, and I'm like, you know what? Do an instrumental. I'm not fucking having the singer on this one.
Right.
So I had to walk away. I had to walk away. I'll double them, and I'll try to sing it straight one time, and then I'll try to like sing harmonies over myself. And if that works, I might do the harmonies again. But I try to get out of there as fast as I can with the vocals, because it's still something I'm trying to work on with myself. I'm trying to get better at singing.
Okay,
so.
yeah. Well, yeah, I definitely want to grow, for sure. But like, so far, it sounds fucking awesome to me. So, I mean, and the reception you got. So like with the studio and stuff, how did you get like familiar with recording and all that? Was that just walking into it as well and just trial and error?
No, I've done I've recorded with a few people.
Okay. Yeah.
I just like, a few bands, a few like, I don't know. I've been in the studio a few times, and I watch. I'm like the fly on the wall, and it's not new. So it was new for me to do it alone though.
Right.
I mean, I have a newfound respect for solo artists that go in there and they gotta like pick their team. They gotta pick the guitarist that's coming in with them, to pick the bassist that's coming in with them and everything. Because I thought it was easy at first. I thought it was like, yep, go in, do this, do that, get out of there and shit. But it is like, it's a lot of work when you do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know what I use. Like, I don't know what you use, but I tried using Bandcamp and stuff, and it was literally a simple little song, and turned into like a 4-hour event of me just trying to figure things out.
I tried GarageBand on my phone. Like, I tried to do GarageBand. I've got like electric drums upstairs, and it just ends up like sounding like me on fast forward almost.
Okay. Yeah.
For some reason, like I don't know if I speed it up or what I do, but it sounds like usually it's good for me, so I can listen to the song or I can send it to somebody else. But I don't know. I'm just trying to go. I'm just gonna go for it. Like, I'll go in the studio and I'll be like, fuck this. It's go time. They'll be like, you want to come back in next month? And I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, I'm not ready to do this. I don't think I'm ready to do another couple songs. And then I'll be like, yes, I will do it. And I'll write it on the schedule. And if I don't have the words done, like sometimes I'll go into the studio and I won't even have words. And I'll be like, I'll play the music, and then I will drive home listening to all the recording. And I'll be like, fuck it, I'll just write the song tonight. And I'll go back into the studio and I'll sing it tomorrow.
Perfect.
That's what happened. That's what happened with Little Girl, actually. I had a verse and I had the chorus, but I didn't have a second verse at all. And I was listening to it in my car, and I'm like, and I just wrote it when I got home, and I was like, fuck it. That's how it was. When you're kind of against the wall, it's like all or nothing. You gotta pull the trigger and do it, and pray that it works.
I think that's when the best stuff comes out, really. Like when it comes out like that, and that's really cool. Like, that's how you do it. Because there's a lot of bands I like too that oh, dude, I just wrote this lyrics right in the studio. Yeah, like I see that a lot in interviews. A lot in interviews.
I'll super overthink things. Like, sometimes I'll overthink myself out of it, So like with this whole project, I'm trying my hardest to just go with the flow and make it as like natural as I can. And then is in an unnatural type of way, I'm just trying anything that doesn't feel right. I'm going with on this just to kind of test myself to see if it's good.
So do you plan to, like, what's coming up next? Do you plan to do like more singles with it, or like an EP together, or?
I actually, in March, I have a 5-song EP coming out on tape, but it's like, it's pretty much the 5 songs that are out already.
Oh, hey, that's cool. They'll put them all together, yeah.
It's gonna be called Nights in Jail EP. Mm-hmm. It'll be all the songs that are on Spotify and stuff like that.
That sounds great.
And on Bandcamp, all compiled into one cassette. So
cool. Yeah, I was gonna say, okay, cool. Because I know you have all the singles. I was obviously gonna say, are you gonna bring them all together, do something with them? Do you plan to I know like vinyl. Do you plan to do like a vinyl maybe like in the way future, or?
I did like with Little Girl, and Nightcrawler, the same person that's putting out my tape, I did I think it's called lathe cut vinyl, where they put like a metal plate and they cut each record by hand.
Wow.
So I did like a limited run of those. I think I have like 5 left of Little Girl and I Would. But I totally sold out of the one with the Nightcrawler on it.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I'm hoping to do a 10-inch. If I get rid of the tapes, if they sell, I'm going to try to do a 10-inch with all the songs, like a Nights in Jail EP on 10-inch if I can.
Awesome. I'll be throwing that out too when I see that come out.
Nice, man.
Yeah, I wanted to say to you earlier, do I don't know how much time I have you for. I know you've been busy all weekend and everything.
Oh my God, it's been DIY in this house. I got 2 rooms done. It was nuts. I don't know how to do shit, and I still don't really know how to do shit, but it came out looking all right.
Yeah, it seemed pretty good on your Instagram post.
Yeah,
really good. Yeah, it's cool. I don't want to hold you up too long though. You're right. I know it's you're good though. Or am I holding you up? Okay. That's what I was worried about, because I was like, oh shoot, I know he's been working all day. The last thing he wants to do probably, but I really appreciate you coming
up. No, it's cool, man. I like this. I was like, I wonder why he wants to talk to me. I mean, I'm nothing. Ain't that fucking special. So.
Oh no, I think people need to listen, because when I listen, I'm like, this is what I always want to do. I listen to music. I'm like, I wish I could just throw it out there, and this is my way of trying to do it, like shoving my way out, trying to push and promote things, because I don't know, I just think good music should be listened to.
Man, that is amen, brother. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I wanted to ask, too, you wanted to do shows and all that. Do you think you would do like a mini tour maybe, or because I know you said you want to come.
Love to.
I know you said you want to California.
I would love to do a tour.
Cool.
Right now, so I've got 1 show in March in Boston at the Midway. Right. And I submitted my songs to Pennsylvania.
Oh, cool.
In Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I submitted a few. I think I only had a couple when I did it. So I know the deadline's up, and fingers crossed. I've known people that have tried to get in there last year and didn't make the cut. So I hope I get it, but I'm not 100%.
I did want to go to that this past year, but I wasn't able to make it out. But it looks like a really fun.
They're doing great stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, it seems like the bands that played last year, and they had the Queers there, and she's a real cool chick. Yeah, it seems like a really fun time. I really want to do it, so hopefully. Put me in, coach.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed for you. Yeah. I really hope you get that. That's awesome. Yeah, because I know there's a lot of people from all over that come just for that show, like Pennsylvania. It's like a whole weekend thing, so it's like, that's perfect. That'd be so cool. That's fun. Yeah. It's interesting too. Like all the interviews I've done, just about, have been connected to the Queers in some way. Well, I've interviewed. I don't know if you heard the Jasons, but they've gone on tour.
Love them.
Yeah. They've gone on tour with the Queers, and Joe's produced stuff for them.
They're so good.
No, last month I saw the Huntingtons too for the first time. Yeah, and that was really.
They're superstars.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're so good.
I ended up me and my friend Bert. We ended up because he does merch for and kind of roadies for this thrash metal band in Pennsylvania called Eyes of Living. And real quick, so I saw him in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, the Huntington and the Jasons, and I made a joke to Bird. I was like, "Hey, why don't you go help them load their stuff up?" And then Cliffy heard me say that, so he came up to us. He's like, "Yo, can you come over and help us?" So me and him had to carry everything out. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah,
so that kind of blew my mind. It's really interesting. I know I've listened to the Ramones and all that, and be part, listen to all the music and all that, but everyone's just so awesome in this group of people. It's really cool, and I felt like when I asked you, I was like, oh, maybe he will. I don't know, but I hope so. But I'm just glad you did, because
I'm glad too. I'm really
cool.
Happy that you chose me.
Of course, that's the thing. That's all. What it's all about.
Yeah, man.
I wanted to say too, with what was the hardest thing for you, doing the solo thing though so far? What's something that you hit a wall in?
It's tough, like, because I have never done like metronome, I can't keep timing really good on a metronome type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So playing to a click was really tough for me.
Mm-hmm.
I had a buddy actually he'd come in and he would play the guitar, but he didn't want to be on the actual album. Oh. So I would play the drums to him playing guitar, and then I would totally erase what he did and play the guitar over myself playing drums, so it would be easier. So I was my own metronome pretty much for all of it. Actually, this is what's happened.
Oh wow, okay.
His name's Fury. He for some reason he just doesn't want to be on the recordings or something, but he's fucking awesome.
No royalties.
He helped me. Yeah, I give him like producer rights and shit because he's the one that lit a fire under my ass and got me into the studio. That's and cool. You know, he was really supportive. He stayed there the whole time. Like, it was weird. It was like he was my coach or something. Mm-hmm. He's like, get in there, fucking do it, man. You know, just do it. I was like, okay, you don't want to play on it? He's like, just erase me. I was like, all right, fine.
That's cool.
All right, thank you.
So he like gave you the push in and then kind of like settled you in and then got out and then hopped out.
I asked him. I said, if I get some more shows, do you want to play second guitar? And he hasn't answered yet. So I mean, he's always got a place in my band. If he wants to play, he's always got a part in my band because he was really one of the most influential people in this whole thing. Like, he lit a fire right up under me. I was like, you know what? Don't sit around and fucking dwell on shit when you can be out making songs. You know, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? You're gonna have a good song, and you know. So I was like, fuck it. Yeah. I'll do it.
That's so cool.
Thanks, Yuri.
Yeah. Big shout out. That's very inspiring.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's what I tried. I always wanted to join a band, so I sent they made a post. This one band from Pennsylvania, and looking for a bunch of members. So I emailed them. I haven't heard anything back yet, but that's what I think from doing all this, listening to people play music and all that. That's what kind of helped me, inspire me. Because normally I'd be like, I would see bands looking for, hey, we're looking for a guitar player, looking for a bass player, and I'd be like, because I've tried to start a band, but it's like, I'd rather just join one. But
yeah, well, that's what I was doing this whole time, and like, it's tough. It really is, but it's like, there's people out there, and you know, just keep doing what you're doing. Like, write the songs and put them up, and you know, just play them for people and stuff. Eventually, someone's gonna be like, I could put down this. I could do this. I could do a good bass part here. Or I could play the drums here. Or you know, I even went to like open mics and shit sometimes. And there's always a band out there somewhere. It might take a bit to find them, but you'll find them, man. If you want it so bad, you'll find it.
Right. So it's all a matter how you want it, how bad you want it.
Yeah.
It's very true. Open mic, that's cool. I did that for you. Did you do your own songs or covers?
I've done both.
Okay.
I did both. A couple of times I've done like My Best Friend's Girl by the Cars. I love the fucking Cars. Shout out to them again. But,
yeah. I could get into that
but
too.
Yeah, I did a couple. I mean, I'd go there, and if I was working on a tune or something, I'd play it. You know, it was just a dive bar most of the time. There wasn't nobody there, but you meet some good musicians, you know?
Yeah. That's where to do it, too. You kind of like, you throw it out there and see what happens. That's cool.
There's a, I think in like Newburyport or like Merrimack, Mass, there's a band called the Shods. They're from like Boston. They're from Mass area. They're really freaking good. They got great harmonies. Kevin actually played with the Mighty Boss Stones before.
Oh.
And actually when Rivers from Weezer went to Harvard, Kevin Stevenson played with him too. So
no kidding.
So he's kind of famous. I mean, he's got some punk rock and roll royalty creds.
The Shot.
So check out the Shods.
How do you spell that? Sorry.
SHODS. The Shods.
Write that down. Cause I know my mind. I'm gonna be like, huh? Well, I can just listen back to this too. But
yeah, but the guy, Kevin and Scott, they'd do an open mic. It was like a punk rock open mic night in either Haverhill, America, somewhere down there in Mass. And I don't know if they do it now because of COVID, but I remember up until about a year ago, they still did it. They still would do it every Friday. And I mean, I would go because I was like, yo, I fucking love this band. They've influenced me so much. And, you know, they're just regular dudes playing their shit. And I got to play with them, you know? I get to go out there and have a couple of beers and play with the fucking people I love, you know? Some people's icons are like Kanye West or something. Some people's icons are a fucking bartender at a place in Boston, you know? You go hang out down there and talk their ear off.
That's so true. I took a couple of friends to go see before in 2019. I got Off With Their Heads, and the one guy from Off With Their Heads is just outside smoking, and I went up to him and started talking, and my one friend was like blown away. He's like, "You can just go up to him?" I'm like, "Yeah." Well, he's more familiar with the like the hip hop and all that, and like he's just like, you don't have to pay money to meet him. I'm like, no, you just walk up to him and say, "Hey man, good show."
I love Off With Their Heads.
Yeah,
I love Off With Their Heads.
I saw them in November. They're actually like tighter at. This is good for because you're a 3-piece. They're actually tighter as a 3-piece band.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah.
When I saw there were 3, I see them with a 4-piece, and then this past with a 3, and I'm like, this. You guys sound amazing.
Yep.
Which is interesting.
I played with them in 2008. I played a show in it was in Connecticut. Actually, it might have been 2 or 3 shows. It might have been a run of shows with them. I think they played in Dover, New Hampshire. They played. It was before they signed to Epitaph. But yeah, it was in Connecticut. Like I played a few shows at a couple record stores and shit with them.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they were like on like No Idea or something around that time. But what band were you in then?
I played in a band called The Guts for a very short amount of time.
Okay.
It was a band from Portsmouth. I was only on one CD, but yeah, they're a real cool pop punk band from Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Oh, cool.
Called The Guts.
That's cool. Wow.
Yeah. I recorded at this place called Sonic Iguana Studios in Lafayette, Indiana. Phil Hill from the Teen Idols actually recorded the album. It's called
Whoa.
Songs of Freedom. The Guts Songs of Freedom. I played bass and sang a couple songs on it.
So you met Phil. Yeah, obviously.
Yep.
Wow.
I stayed with him for the week.
I think he like lives in Jersey now or something. I don't know. That's the last I heard, but
I know he when I saw him, I think he was in like lived in Tennessee or something, and then he like the studio's in Indiana, but I think he just kind of drove out there to record us. I don't think he was staying out there.
Oh wow,
that was in like 2008, so I don't know. A lot of years have passed.
Yeah, wow, yeah, they really have.
Yeah,
he's like a legend.
Yeah,
too.
They went on a tour, I think, with the Leftovers after we did that, and they played in Maine and in Boston, and I haven't seen them since.
Wow. Yeah, he's like a legend. I always wonder every now and then because they're one of the best. Teen Idol is one of the best pop punk bands, I would say.
Yeah.
Artists.
They almost got on Fat Records. Honest Dons. It's pretty much Fat Records.
Yeah, the sub label. I guess that's the word you want to call it, what I want to say, but yeah.
Yeah. Sub label, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you see videos of Smelly from NoFX having a Teen Idol shirt on. It's like, just put them on.
Oh my God, their harmonies are out of this world. He actually him and Dave Parasite both sang on that Songs of Freedom CD.
Okay.
So it's on Spotify. It's The Guts Songs of Freedom.
Yeah, I'll check
I fucking love it.
That's awesome.
Great songs, great pop punk songs, and it was a really good time doing it. So.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah. From all like your music endeavors, like what's the craziest person you never thought you'd meet from like maybe idol wise or just somebody that you never thought you'd see?
Not really sure. I don't really know. I don't know. I meet a lot of people, but I guess I really like the band Darkbuster.
Darkbuster, okay.
Yeah. So I met the singer of Darkbuster, and his name's Lenny, and that was probably it. That was probably it, man. Small band from Boston. I don't know. Really rocked my world when I listened to them, and they hit hard with me. So
that's cool.
Just like I said, some people's like famous guys, Kanye West. Some people's the fucking bartender. You know what I'm saying? It could be anybody, you know.
Did you ever see the Ramones?
Yeah, I saw them one time, and it was in 1994. I was young.
Okay.
My dad brought open for White Zombie. It was a fun show though.
What was that at? New York? Oh, sorry.
They opened for White Zombie.
Yep.
It was Lewiston, Maine.
Okay. Because
up in the state.
I've met people that have seen them on that. I don't know if it was a tour or what, but that's what I heard that before. People say I saw the Ramones or White Zombie. I'm like, what? That's so cool.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was the Adios Amigos tour. I think. I want to say it was, and I don't know why. I don't really know why White Zombie headlined it, but it might have been a co-headlining one. But I was so young. It was like, I mean, it was after I had heard him at the junior high dance. Mm-hmm. And I had some time to buy some tapes and listen to some shit, and I was really into it. I remember I still have it's a blue Adios Amigos shirt. I still have it. It doesn't fit me anymore, but it's all ripped up.
That's cool.
But it's classic, man, and it's it was kind of like Local Live. They went right through the set of Local Live, is what it seemed like.
Rip right through, yeah. Would you ever? I mean, that probably won't work. I don't know, but like, would you ever? They went like faster as their careers went. Do you ever like?
Oh yeah.
Do you ever plan to do something fast with that, or with your sound, or? Not saying it
yeah,
fast.
I mean, I've got my mind's always fucking racing, so it's like I've got some songs that are kind of fast, you know. I think maybe even the next song I'm working on. It's sort of like a faster, it starts off kind of like a 12-bar, kind of bluesy, and then rips into like a really fast psychobilly type song. But it's still got a lot of like, it's going to be called It's All Right, I think.
Okay.
But it's got a lot of like harmonies and a lot of woes and stuff. I don't know if it will then or not, but it's fast. Yeah. This next one's going to probably be the fastest one I've ever done.
Oh, cool.
I plan on it.
Nice, that's awesome.
Yeah, you heard it first, kids.
Yeah, right here, exclusive.
Kids gonna do a fast one.
Cool. That's it's funny with the Ramones too. Like with your music too. Like, you know, the '90s pop punk and then the rockabilly. But it's like the Ramones. It's like that's what the Ramones was too. So it's like it's not like it's like that. Like, you know, I know I was saying, like, when I listened to Nightcrawler came on, I was like, who's this? But it's really it's all like in a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way. I apologize if it.
No.
Yeah. Oh, this is
awesome.
I get it. But but it's like with the Ramones, it's like it makes sense. Like together, like that was the Ramones influence. So the '50s doo-wop, or like, you know, the soul and harmonies and all that. So it's like it's cool that like now it's all timeless. Really, that's what I'm trying to say. So it's really cool that the switch up was cool. Like I was supposed to. I think it was Nightcrawler. I had on my radio on at work. I work in a factory, and I had two of the guys I was working with when I started dancing.
Really? Yeah. Nice, man. Nice, that's awesome.
And the one guy's like, turn it up. And I was like, all right.
I've got so many influences that I like, mm-hmm. and I don't want to like typecast myself to one genre, you know? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's all going to be punk, you know? It's all going to sound punkish, you know? But
and you're the boss.
I want to keep it, you know, I want to keep the upright bass going. I might record a few songs that don't have upright, but when we play them live, we'll incorporate the upright into them. Mm-hmm. Like Little Girl and we're going to play live with the upright bass, you know. I'll probably play it exactly the same way that I recorded it, but I'll be like, Terry, just play the bass however the hell you want to, you know. I'm sure you can play it punk, or whatever.
Oh, so you're more okay, cool. So you're more open, like the guys that you're playing with, they kind of do their own spin on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
So I know like some people are like they're like.
I'm not bad like that.
That's cool. And some people, I was gonna ask that too, because I mean it's your song, so it's like you have the right, you know, it's how you want to do it. So that's what the cool
I
thing
mean,
is.
if they come out sounding like shit, I might be like,
Yeah, no.
let's take it back a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, so far so good. Anyone I've asked to like play or help has just nailed it, and I haven't even like given them the chords or anything. Most of the time, the feel is I'll go in, and it's mostly just been Terry and Yuri. But I'll go in, I'll play the song, we'll do like a campfire style jam or something, and then I'll just get on the drums and we'll see how it goes, and that's how it gets recorded. So
cool, awesome.
Yep. It's always filled out in the studio. That's pretty much where it all comes together. The ideas come with me, and then it gets sussed out at the studio.
Awesome, cool, man. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else I could ask you about, like touring and stuff. Like, what was you know, it's like a generic question, but like, what's the most wild thing you like seen on tour? Like,
oh shit, a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff. A lot of fights.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stayed in some crazy places.
Like punk houses and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Punk houses. We actually, with Wimpy, we played at this punk house in Boston. Actually, I don't even know if Wimpy came to that show. I think he was supposed to play the show, but he wasn't feeling well, so we ended up playing it half as the Cryptics and half as Wimpy and the Cryptics, but without Wimpy. We just did like a Queers cover set. But it was Joel Woods from TSOL, the other singer of TSOL.
What?
Yeah, and he is a fucking trip, man. That guy is awesome. I mean, he's sober, I think, but
is that the
you could tell.
Like Changed Today?
Can tell that. Yes, that was it. That was the band we played with. Changed Today.
Okay.
Fucking amazing. That's like one of my favorite TSOL records too.
It is really, yeah. It's, like, I have a friend. Shout out to Glenn. He's probably watching. I used to work at a record store with him, and he has it on vinyl. And I'm like, oh,
so good.
I'm like, no.
Yeah,
way.
I bought it that night. On vinyl. He had some.
Nice. Oh, cool.
And, yeah, I didn't have it before, but I loved it. I love his voice, man. It's fucking great.
It's, like I had to give Glenn credit because like I was like, he showed me the record. I'm like, oh fuck that, dude. Like it's not punk at all, but whatever. And then like listening to it, I'm like, this is fucking amazing. Flowers by the Door or whatever. Or
oh my god, man. I think I was like trying to tag TSOL in a few posts, and Tina was like, don't tag TSOL because I don't know if Joel is cool with or if Joe, I think whatever, if he's cool with TSOL or what. So I was like, all right. But
yeah, from what I remember seeing the guitar.
I don't know how cool they are together. Like I don't know if him and Jack are buddies or not, but
yeah, I remember
singers.
Yeah, I saw the thing with Mike Roach. He was saying like that was like the worst mistake he ever did or something. But I think it might have been the Hit and Run record though. The last thing when they were in full like hair metal or 80s whatever.
I mean, I'm into that shit, dude. I kind of like how it's
it changed the
how there's so much variety.
Mm-hmm.
I like how there's so much variety there.
That's so cool.
It makes it seem like a different band. And when I have them on, when I have them on random, you know, you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. No, I agree.
That's what I like. Yeah.
Changed Today is a really good record. So that's so cool that you played with him.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yep.
That would have blown.
Yeah, I should write a book. Maybe I'll write a book or some shit.
Yeah, that'd be cool. The Dave Strong book.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, everyone else. I mean, you've been there. I would have if I was around.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I don't want to take you too long. I think we're pretty good where we're at.
Yeah.
I could go on for hours, but you know.
I know. I heard. I'm out in my basement right now because when like my kids got home a little later, they were at my mom's house for the weekend.
Oh, cool.
While we were doing all this shit, and I think I heard my daughter screaming a couple times in the middle of this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But play it back and see if you did or not.
Yeah.
But, I'll watch it and find out if I did.
They're featured.
Yeah, I'll see. Like, I'll watch it and I'll be like, did my eyes roll back in my head? Because I heard it a little bit and I was like, oh, fuck, I hope he doesn't hear her screaming that shit. I'm not that bad.
I don't think I did, but I'm also cool. Maybe it's all the shows I go to. Maybe, but
well, it can be a good drinking game.
Yeah.
Everyone that watches this, if they hear the baby scream upstairs, take a shot.
I'll do it. Is there anything you want to add, Dave?
Just I'm working on that tape. I don't know exactly when it's going to come out. I don't have a Bandcamp or anything. I just have the Labtop Punk one. I have the Instagram, the Butch Man David Instagram.
Yep.
I changed it to not private anymore, so people are following me now.
Yeah.
And people can they can take my posts and repost them. Because I guess before, when I was private, people were like, you need to be on private because I can't repost your posts. So I was like, oh, I don't want to be on private because people are going to steal me or something. I'm so fucking stupid.
Make a fake account.
No one's going to steal me.
Well,
no one's going to be stealing Dave.
Hey, you make your own Dave Strong personal and then have a music one. But yeah, okay, yeah, I'll post it all down below too, guys. So whoever's watching, you can click on those links. I'll put it on Labtop Punk Records, Spotify, all that fun stuff. All right, cool, Dave.
Sweet, dude. All right, man.
Thank you for being on. I appreciate it.
Have a great day.
You too. See ya.
Bye.